All right, here we are. Daphne, congratulations passing the
Thank
PMP.
you.
I think it was last Friday, 11th of July. How,
That is correct.
how does it feel now?
Unrealistic. I am finally a PM certified project manager, and it is really an amazing feeling to be on the other side of the preparation
Wow.
sessions that we've had for so many weeks now.
Wow, congratulations. Congratulations. That was a big milestone. I mean, would you mind to share, a couple of, tips and how did you prepare? What did you do?
I think the thing that really was instrumental for me was, and I hate to sound so cliche, is was scheduling my sessions one on one with you. I think the PM, the I was so focused on memorizing everything,
Mhm.
and it got overwhelmed trying to memorize my formulas, trying to memorize all of the processes and tools, and I started to wonder, how am I ever going to memorize all of these to sit
Yeah.
for a 4 hour exam? And so all of our working sessions where we build up to a certain amount of cadence of the questions that I could withstand, a certain focus level, and how to trust and eliminate and proceed by elimination when you have a question in front of you. I think all of the tricks and tools that you instill in us during those sessions really helped me navigate this. I the exam simulation was definitely a key thing for me
Yeah.
because it helped me get comfortable with answering questions and with reviewing the question. It helped me make peace with when I'm not sure about one answer and not overthink it so much. I am definitely an overthinker, but it was the ability to continue going and understanding the questions being
Mhm.
situational more than theory based questions.
Wow. And then what you would like to say in terms of, when we emphasize a lot on that PMI mindset versus, how much knowledge you need to have, how much you need to kind of learn all those definitions. So how does this, I would say, collide? Because, I like to emphasize that the mindset, if you're focusing on understanding what is this PMI logic of, waterfall of process driven, of plan driven approach, whereas the agile, which is all about the value driven. So that's, was also, let's say, a key contributor for this, a great success story.
Yes, it was. I think understanding what environment I was in because nothing wasn't, some questions were not as cut dry or it is waterfall, it is agile. There was a lot of hybrid. And so you had to use the best practice of both and see what fits best, use keywords. And I think definitely having that mindset of what is the best practice of PMI, the knowledge of this is what should happen helps you address the situational
Mhm.
questions. And for me, it was really the repetition of the exercises that we did and going back. And even if there's something I didn't know, I think in the questions that we did, you naturally learn when you
Mhm.
go back to the answers. And so it was a new way for me learning through the correction of the answers.
Yeah.
That was for me a instrumental thing. And the group session where I can see how I benchmark my my skill set with other colleagues, that really helped me be motivated and stay on task and knowing, oh, I know that. Okay, I know that. And so that builds your confidence. And once you start hitting a certain threshold in the exam, you start feeling that okay, you're probably ready. You could probably sit for that exam. And that really made a tremendous impact on the readiness one feels when going to the exam. Because I feel
Right.
like it was a lot mental too.
Right. And in terms of the testing score, so I always emphasize that, our confidence is really coming from the testing score. I mean, and how do you felt? I mean, you're reaching those 60%, 70% and going above. So that's where you also kind of started to feel that kind of confidence, right?
Yes, yes. So I think when we started, I think I had scored 60
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm really not ready. And would not be able to score more than 60. And it was the simple things that you told me. You said, okay, when do you practice? I said, after work, late at night. You were like, how about you do it in the morning? Just that simple switch made me go from 60 to 67 or 70, I think, that one time. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should do this in the morning. And then we started and you were like, okay, you are hitting 70 but you're not moving and we need you to move. Okay, let's do an open exam. And I did an open exam and I got 75 and I was like, wait a minute, so I need to know my things. It's I see where I open Google to research or
Right.
ChatGPT to research, and that's where I said, okay, I'm going to focus on improving this amount of questions per session. And I think before I sat on the exam, I had my highest score yet on a simulation, which was 83. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm ready. We're gonna do this. Let's get the show on the road.
Well done. And again, I mean, huge congratulations. In
Thank
terms
you.
of the exam, what was the most challenging on the exam day?
Um, in terms of the exam,
Hmm.
the most challenging thing was knowing that I had prepped all this time for this, and I was worried I should mess this up. It wasn't the testing center. I think so. Finding the testing center was a challenge. So I should have
Okay.
listened to you and visit that testing center prior to the exam. And
Okay.
so I got there 1 hour earlier because I wasn't sure. And then I saw other students that were like, "Oh, you're here for the exam?" I'm like, "Yes." They were like, "What exam?" I said, "PMP." They said, "Me too." And so I was like, "All right." I found people that are also doing the PMP
Hmm.
as same as me. uh there was the small sailing. It was very intense. It's like you're taking a flight. They asked to check your body, they asked to check everything, your luggage. You have to put everything in a bin. It was very military, like, okay, your cameras are looking at you, you can be eliminated for any reason. I think that was a bit over the top. But once you sit on that exam, there is a little video to teach you about the tool. But
Hmm.
once you've done enough simulation, you are comfortable with the tool. You're comfortable
Right.
with striking, with highlighting. And that wasn't a challenge. I think the challenge happens for me when I got on the first question, you're confident. And then when you are faced with the first question, that
Hmm.
shatters your confidence. That was the most challenging thing for me. When you come on the screen, you're like, more than one question look like they could be true. What is it? And now you start to panic. That was the challenge for
And how
me.
did you overcome that?
I think because you had showed us how to proceed by elimination. You have this thing you say, the answer is on the screen. You just have to find it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, one of them is the right answer. Let's eliminate those that
Yeah.
sound the least true. Let's reread the question, reread the two answers, try to find in what process group we are. Okay,
Hmm.
what do we know for sure? What doesn't sound right? What is the trick in the answers? And that way you just pick one and go with it. I didn't flag it because I
Hmm.
didn't want to overthink it. I stayed on it for a minute. I read it, and I think the thing that is really important is not
Yeah.
second guessing yourself. If
Okay.
you're failing, fail confidently, but don't second guess, because when you do, it's definitely when it goes downhill for me. At least that's what helped me.
Wow, very bad. In terms of the practicalities, so how many you flagged on the exam? Did you flag like
So
zero
I
or
flagged 3 on the first 60 questions,
okay?
but to be fair, when I went back to them, I didn't change my answers.
Oh, okay. No, that's good. That's good.
And then on the second thing, I flagged 2.
Okay.
I didn't change my answer. And on
Wow.
the third one, I was like, let me not flag because I'm not changing my answer at this point. We've
Okay.
worked through this. I think we've worked through it was the mind, a game of not second guessing that really made me go faster and more confident about
Wow.
the answers I'm picking.
Very well done. And in the end, you finished earlier as well?
I finished with 5 minutes to spare, which is
Okay.
not that early.
Okay.
I think I still went back and reread some,
Hmm.
but I felt like I had prepared for so many weeks. At this point, I can, like, I only went back to one question.
Okay.
I had one formula question that I went back to, and that was
And was it difficult, by the way, that formula question, or there was
no,
difficult? Okay.
no, no. I think it. I was expecting more formula question. I was expecting to panic, but that didn't happen.
Wow. Well, I mean, Daphne, I'm so happy for you that you made it. We worked, together on this. I
Thank you
see
so
you, how you
much for
improve all
all of the
together.
recommendation.
I do have one more question, the final one, before we close today, is that, so if you're looking back, I mean, what you would do differently, or what advice you wanted to give, someone who's, let's say, already studying for about 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month, a little bit on and off, considering to doing it in the upcoming month, um, what that person should do differently.
I think when you told me to stick to a schedule of doing it every day, I didn't listen. I was like, okay, I scored 70. I can take a break, come back next week. I think this is what I would do differently.
Mm.
I think the first question that shattered my confidence had me be questioning all the times I should have studied that I didn't study. And that is definitely the thing I would do differently. Because the truth is, there is no amount of memorization that's going to help you on the exam.
Yeah.
It's the things that you intrinsically know to be true. Yes, you need to know the theory. Yes, you need to know the process group. Yes, you need to. But there's a way where you learn the practice, and then now you have to just go and be. And the being part is practicing, and that really happens through doing the exam. Maybe every day is intense, but if I would do it differently, I would have a tighter cadence where I would do it every other day, and I would stick to at least 20 minutes, 15. I would schedule whatever time I did, because I was definitely saying, oh, I need to do 60 questions or nothing at all. So only the days I could do 60 questions, I did it. I wish I had scheduled the even 10 minutes, even 20
Yeah.
minutes. That way I would have kept that momentum going, and that would have built my confidence more. And I wouldn't second guess myself on that very first question.
But in the end, I think that's a good feedback, and having that kind of study plan, which will give you that rigor of what to do, when to do, and how to do it. And also in terms of the questions, is really more like how many questions you can take any given time with that kind of full focus. And in case of you plan your day, the universe or the work or whatever is giving you more challenges, and in that case you have to make adjustments. And you said, like, if you have to do just like a half an hour, is better than technically doing nothing, because it takes time to get to that point, to that PMI logic, PMI mindset, and but once you crack the code, you're gonna pass the exam. So I mean, and there's no more better feeling, because now you have all so much time which you
Yes.
dedicated for the studies. So yeah, I mean, you did all the hard work. I'm glad you made it. Huge congratulations for all this. Um, yeah, I think a great
On
success
to the
story
next
there.
certification.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So thank you very much for the
Thank
quick
you.
feedback, Daphne, on this, and yeah, please make sure you continue collecting those PDUs, because if
Yeah,
you have to re-examine yourself, ooh la la, this is just getting more and more difficult. So please make sure you're not doing that. All right.
of course. Yes. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for the feedback. Speak soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.